We live constantly on the go. We have priorities in different areas, meetings, talking on the phone while doing many other things. We are just taking care of everybody's business but our own. It seems like it will never end. Have you ever thought, I sure wish it was more than 24 hours in a day, but let me ask you a question. Would it really matter? Living a balanced life is attainable, but it's not always easy. Yet, with knowledge, resources, skills, and practice, one can attain a balanced life of purpose, fulfillment, and overall well-being to start you or someone else on a journey towards total wellness, mind, body, and spirit, that are essential key factors in lifelong solutions for a mentally healthy America. You may be asking yourself, what does a balanced life mean? Every week, I will define various terms to further increase your mental health awareness and to encourage you to learn more about your mental health. Remember, knowledge is power, or I'll put it like this: we perish for the lack of knowledge. A balanced life is a life of structure built on a firm foundation. Our emotional, psychological, physical, and spiritual well-being develops the whole person. And this concept is called holistic, which means multidimensional. Hello, I'm Angela Shine, and welcome to Faith in Mind. Studies show meditation might be an effective treatment for reducing chronic neck pain, according to research reported in the Journal of Pain. Chronic neck pain can lead to serious comorbidities like depression. Patients with chronic neck pain frequently experience distress. Meditation has been increasingly used as a supportive treatment for individuals with chronic pain. For more information, go to www.faithinmind.com for links and resources. Did you know that research suggests that practicing meditation may reduce blood pressure, symptoms of anxiety and depression, insomnia, and the incidence, duration, and severity of acute respiratory illnesses? Nearly 70 million Americans are dealing with emotional conflict. Scientific studies have shown faith to have a positive impact on mood and mental health. A study by Accenture revealed that work-life balance ahead of money, recognition, and autonomy is the key determiner for more than half of men and women on whether or not they have a successful career. On today's show, my featured guest is an educator, author, speaker, and trainer. But it doesn't stop there. A leader in strategic planning, professional development, and personal empowerment. Reverend Dr. Jacquie Hood Martin has been an ordained minister for over 20 years. She has been inspiring women from across this country with her teaching, leadership style, and through her books, Fulfilled, The Art and Joy of Balanced Living and Wedded Bliss. She is the founder of Jacquie Hood Ministries, which is an organization used to enrich, enable, and empower church congregations. Recently, I reviewed an excerpt from an interview with the Reverend Jacquie, My Take, How I Turned Misery into Ministry, and she said the following: The Red Chair interview has provided me with greater clarity on my life's purpose and how I have been able to balance my life without losing faith in myself and in others. Let's welcome everybody to Faith in Mind, Reverend Dr. Jacquie Hood Martin.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
You look ravishing.
Oh, you are beautiful. Thank you so much.
You know, we are just so happy that you have consented to come and to share with us today.
I'm excited. It's an opportunity that oftentimes you don't know where they'll come from.
Yes.
So to be able to be here with you today to share is going to be a joy. It's going to bless a lot of people.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
That's a good reason.
Yes,
to come.
yes. So tell us, who is Reverend Jacquie?
Let's see now. I'm a woman who's in the process of becoming still. I believe what God has designed and created me to be. This journey has been not without its ups and downs, but what I've discovered in the time that I've been here is you have to learn to keep it moving in the up times, the down times, and, discover through reflection. And I mean, really, some really good close reflection.
I understand.
Some self-discovery of who you believe you should be without becoming what other people think you could be.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think that I've discovered over the years the difference that who my parents or other people said I should be at this season in my life is a lot different, now that I've taken ownership and responsibility for my life, my decisions, my actions in the past.
Yes.
They've shaped me and have made me probably a better person rather than a bitter person.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. That's really
So
great.
yeah, that's definitely what I would say is true at this
Right.
season in my life.
Right. And so you're originally from Houston,
I am a
correct?
native Houstonian, Texas born and Texas bred.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So what do you think is your greatest lesson that you've learned?
Wow. The greatest lesson that I've learned is to be authentic. Not to take too much stock in the mask that possibly I have worn in the past, trying to please other people, to do what people said I should, just learning how to appreciate the journey, the process that you have to go through to become a person that you can look in the mirror and say you're proud to be that woman.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that whole process of saying today is different than yesterday. So I take a little of that, but leave a lot of room open for improvement.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
improvement is a very big part of the lessons that I'm learning, that I will never be complete, but I'm always in the process of learning how.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is great. That's great. So also now you've been in the ministry. When I think about a ministry for 20 years?
Yes. Full-time ministry is something that I love. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy talking to people. And when I first started out in ministry, I was Christian education minister. I ran my own ministry. I did radio. I did television. Just so many opportunities presented itself. And over the 20 years, I've kind of narrowed it down. So I just want to help. And so the 20-year journey has been phenomenal in so many different ways. It allows you to meet a lot of people, to travel the world. Over the 20 years, I think my greatest ministry experience was traveling to Ghana to preach, and it was amazing. I stood flat foot, barefoot, like put your shoes on. I'm like, why? I mean,
Yes.
this is a place I've never been before, and just to be in Africa to preach and to share the gospel, it was phenomenal. And literally, I could feel it from the soles of my feet to the top of my head. It was something that I was destined to be doing in that season.
Oh, that is really, really great. So now tell us about the art and joy of balanced living.
The art and joy of balanced living is definitely an art, and there's a little bit of science to it. The art part comes in being able to discover how to let go of some things, but you kind of do it with finesse, but then also at the same time discovering what you need to put to the side. Each day you see yourself not allowing certain things to frustrate you, being able to walk into a room and not feeling self-conscious, being able to take ownership of your issues. And so that's a part of the art and joy of balanced living, which is a book by the same title. It gives people the ability to discover ways to expand and expound on who they believe they should be. That's the art part. You take things one day at a time and not being afraid to really look in the mirror and see you for you. That's one part. But then the joy part comes in once you've gotten that down. Once you get to that place where certain things don't upset you or frustrate you, you can work with others and your children or your mate, go to work and not feel as if you're under the gun or all of the time. So it's one of those things that you can discover to actually live. It's really 8 biblical principles on how to live a balanced and stress-free life. And so each of those laws that are related to the book, the law of empowerment, the law of harmony, the law of creativity, the law of readiness, which I think is one of my favorite.
Yes.
When you have to spend time getting ready to get ready, sometimes it's too late.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
true.
have to work through every day what it looks like to have balance in your life. And we take on too much. You
That's
know,
the truth.
we don't know
Look, I can
how.
raise my hand on that.
You know, you got to discover how to let some things go in order to
Right.
take on some other
And
things.
it's really okay to say N-O. A lot of people
Oh,
don't.
that is the most underutilized two-letter word in the dictionary, is the
Yes.
word no. And it comes in handy because it helps you discover whether people are delegating or dumping on you.
That's
And you have
good.
to know the difference between what's a delegate and what's a dump. You know, so you get to that place where you say, if you're bringing me something at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you know I leave at 3:30, chances are you might want to hold that till tomorrow because I'm
Sure.
not going to look at it. But some people feel so compelled to have to do well and to please others that they get
Yeah.
out of sync and out of balance. They rush, they try to make it, and that's when we make mistakes. And so the art and joy of balanced living is learning how to live for self
Yeah.
and not so much for
And
others.
there's really nothing wrong with living for self.
It's okay to be selfish in the sense that we spend the majority of our time being selfless.
Yes.
Everything that we do, especially women, you wake up doing for someone else.
That's true.
And then at the end of the kids getting fed, the husband being taken care of, the dog being walked, then you decide to get yourself together. So when do men and women both decide that you're going to put you first in order to live a balanced life?
It's really doable.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's doable, but it takes time, takes practice.
It takes a want to.
Yeah, that's
You know,
good.
and
Well,
it does. It takes a want to. We talk a
Yeah.
lot about stick-to-itness,
Yes.
which is really not a word, but we use it all of the time. But in order to stick to something, you got to want it to happen for yourself. You know, you got to want to see your life balance. You have to want to be able to seamlessly have a day that isn't filled with frustration,
Yes.
to have a day where you're not twisted and out of sorts, to have a day when you're not upset at the end of your day and you're, you know, really kicking yourself around, because you know we're our own worst enemy.
That's true.
You know, and so this gives you that ability to be able to say, today is going to be a day that's about me, and I'm okay with that.
Right, right. And you know, in the concept of faith in mind, and we had the conversation because I believe in holistically, holistic
Yes.
mind, body, and spirit. I think sometimes you have people that just think of one domain as opposed,
yes.
because when I think of balance, for me,
Yes.
I think about everything, because I was listening to everything that you were talking about, and I'm thinking, a lot of times I'm not balanced. Sometimes I'm unequal at times.
Yes.
A
Isn't that
pull and different
interesting?
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still dealing with the mind, body, and spirit.
That's true. So from the mind perspective, it is easy to get a messed up mind.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, it takes one time to listen to the wrong people for too long, or to always have to have other people's input in something you're trying to accomplish.
Sure.
And then you don't know what is your opinion, what is designed for you, what is destined for you. And so you lose faith in self. And I think that's the first thing to go. So that's how you can get a messed up mind. But when your mind is not right, then your heart is not right, then your
that's good.
spirit is out of sorts. And then physically we become ill because we're
Yes.
operating in a realm or out of the context in which we were meant to live. Not just the God-related things, but the everyday stuff. You know, the doing too much, the spinning too many plates, the running the kids all over town to be in this activity and that activity. So mind, heart, spirit, faith, all of those things. And I think it's one of the things where you and I have said before that you have to run things through the prism of your faith.
Yes.
You know, no matter who you are
That's
and what
good.
you believe in, you need to filter that down through something that makes sense to you so that you can have a lasting impact for your own life.
Yeah, right. That sounds like a great opportunity, a lot of great tools that you actually have in that book that a lot of people can really tap into.
You know?
And it really takes work.
Oh, we won't talk about how much work it takes to become a balanced person, because every day you are a work in progress.
Yes.
And it does. It begins sometimes with writing a simple list of what am I going to do different today that will set me up for success tomorrow.
Yes.
You know, and if you don't approach it strategically, you can really ruin your own life because you're not seeing the bigger picture. So many people are rushing and looking at the just right now.
Yeah.
You know, what can I get today? What do I need for tonight? What's going to happen in the next few minutes? Well, all of that's wonderful, but how does it impact tomorrow? And then the next day? What's your, you know, we still go with the short-term, long-term goals. What's your future plan? What's your right now plan? And so to live a balanced life means to have a strategy, you know, toward your journey. You know, people have to map out what they want their journey to look like. It doesn't just happen. Well, for
Yes.
some people, things do just kind of fall into place like that.
Yes.
But at the same time, most of us spend the majority of our life working at getting to where we are today.
Right, right. And I still believe that if you deal with that core of the balanced life and how you can center yourself, thinking about yourself and exactly what you need in order to fulfill the things around you and stuff, you'd be surprised how things can come in line, like your mind,
Yes.
your body. Because statistically, we talked about depression in African American women. We
Yes.
talk about heart disease being number one. As far as African American women are concerned. I can go on and on in reference to chronic illness. And a lot of people, women, we just don't think that. They probably think
Oh,
that
my
doesn't have
goodness.
nothing to do with what they're talking about, but it really does.
They would actually be mistaken. I talk about this in the book, and that's really how the book was born.
Yes.
25 years old, sitting in seminary, and I had a mild stroke and a heart attack at the exact same time.
Is that right?
I am now 50 and grateful to be alive. I remember sitting in class, and the professor was asking a question, and I was looking to answer the question, and as I leaned over the desk, I began to slur.
Yes.
And then I couldn't talk. And so the next thing I know, I was awake in the dean's office, and I could hear them talking on the phone. We need an ambulance. I think she's having a stroke and a heart attack. My blood pressure was up. I mean, there were just so many things going on, and this is how you discover that your life before you come to your senses can collide with the life that you're trying to build.
That's
and so
good.
I'm in seminary, I'm going in the direction that I should be going, but I'm in the emergency room at the hospital, and I just remember that when they put the band on my arm to draw blood, my pressure was so high that it just, like a balloon, it just popped out of my arm. All I can still remember is the walls were splattered in red.
That's right.
And they were like, well, you should be fine now because we've released some pressure from you. But at 25, to have that experience of a
25.
mild stroke and a heart attack, it was to say that burning the candle on both ends and in the middle is a problem. Because you
Sure.
think that you've got it all together, you know what you want to do, but then when you run ahead of the plan that's set before you, it triggers something in your body that you might want to slow down. And then when you're not listening to the cues, that way of escape that we have to remove ourselves from dangerous situations. I mean, so many things just flash before my eyes. And I'd written a reflective piece not too long ago at turning 50, and it was basically about leaving the 40s behind.
Yes,
and
sure,
you get
sure.
to that space where you begin to say, life is more than what you thought it would be. You might want to wake up and take it seriously. So I'm
yes.
grateful for these last 25 years and looking for the next 25 to get to 75. But I'm doing it more intentionally now because
That
I
is
know that
good.
opportunity didn't have to be afforded to me.
Right,
But I got
right.
the message
Mhm,
loud and
right,
clear.
Right. So was that a family history for you, though, at age 25?
To a degree. I would think that I'd learned over time family history, because we don't talk about that stuff in the African American
Oh, you
community.
see.
Everything is taboo.
Well,
in
just
the
like mental
African
health and everything else.
Exactly. And so everybody talks about the crazy uncle in the back, but nobody talks about, how grandma's in the kitchen slaving and she's about to have a stroke because she's making it work for the family.
Right.
And so I think that that's how we're raised. It's one of those things where you discover that just because it's what we saw doesn't mean it's what we should do.
That's right.
And at 25, that was when I learned that life lesson that just because I saw other women running here and there trying to be superwoman, it didn't mean that I had to take on that banner or that mantra. And that's how Balanced Living was born.
Oh, that's great.
And that literally, I wore a Holter monitor for 3 weeks because they wanted to see my daily routine. And they were like, what are you doing at 25
Right.
that got you to this place? Stress is a silent killer.
It is.
And
It
so
is.
young people who are managing families, young men who are, being the breadwinner because their mom is a single parent, that silent killer is always lurking around.
Right.
And so that's where that mental health comes in because you have to be strong enough to say no
Yes.
to some of the demands that family puts on you. And then society has its own demands. The women who say at 25, 26, I'm going to get married. At 30, I'm
Right.
going to have my first child and I'm going to be this corporate woman. Get a clue.
Right.
You can kill yourself in the process.
That's the
and
truth.
so your faith has to tell you how to slow down and when to slow down.
Yes.
But your wisdom and your good common sense has to tell you to actually stick with it and do it.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yes, it certainly does. You're doing so many wonderful things also with your ministries. And can you tell us more about the other things that you do, that you're doing some coaching and just all kind of things that you're really doing positively.
You know, that's a part of
help.
the balance, you know. The balance, Angela, is where I find myself now. I'm in that season of wanting to pour.
Yes.
I've been poured into so much that now I'm in a season of wanting to pour into other people's lives.
Yes.
And so the Coach Me to Speak is one of those opportunities where we allow people to come to, one, discover their voice, and then take ownership of that voice, and then allows them to be able to speak, you know, in a confident manner about where you want to go, what's been happening in your life, what didn't you like, because that can sometimes trip you up as you go along the journey. And so Coach Me to Speak gives me the opportunity to teach young women and men how to share.
Great.
And to share effectively. You know, you can say too much sometimes and get yourself in more trouble. But how do you tailor your own message so that it's a platform for you to begin to be a speaker, if you choose to be a speaker, to write a book, to do interviews, to do red carpets. You know, I work with a lot of artists, entertainers, and athletes. And a part of that issue is not knowing when to hush. But then there are other times when you need to speak,
Yes.
you know, so that way your story is the story that you want to be told. That's your legacy that you leave behind.
Right,
And so that's what Coach Me to Speak allows me to do. And then, of course, there's the I Balance Me Institute, which really working with corporations and individuals to discover balance, you know, because you can work yourself to death.
Yes.
And all the money that you make, you can't take a vacation, you know, because you're always working. You don't have the ability to enjoy while you're working because now you're ill and tired, you know. And I saw my mom, that happened to her. She passed in 2010. She worked for 33 years as an educator, and when she retired early due to all of the technology and the levels of integration in the classroom, she just could not handle not being busy.
Yeah.
Her sitting still, we honestly believe, is what caused her first series of strokes, which ultimately took her life. She did not know how to sit still. Because for all her life, all she knew was to be busy. And so another life lesson from her was learn now how to be still.
Yeah.
Because in the silent times is when you really learn to enjoy the journey.
Yes, yes. Where can they get more information about you, Reverend?
I'm on the World Wide Web at JackieHood.com and J Hood Martin on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, wonderful. You got anything coming up that you'd like to share?
Oh, there's a lot coming up. Just keep a watch.
Yes.
That's what I say. Follow me on the internet, on the World Wide Web, and be informed in that manner. So many great things are happening. So many new doors are opening, and earning the doctorate degree has just,
Congratulations.
Thank you, has just allowed me to really feel comfortable in my space.
Sure.
The space that I have is the space I want to own.
Yeah. Well, to close, what would you say to those who might be experiencing an unbalanced life?
Yes.
You know, they're not for sure exactly what they want to do, and the hustle and bustle of life. What would you share with them?
I would say first, slow down. I think that's the first step to finding balance, is to mentally slow your mind.
Yes.
We race so fast, and sometimes often too far, that we miss a pivotal turn or a detour or some other marker that can say this is your way of escape. So mentally slow down. And then as you slow down, appreciate the you that you are right now. Don't think about who you want to become, and don't think about who you've been in the past.
Yes, that's good.
Love who you are today.
That's good.
Because the person you love today will show you how to love yourself even more tomorrow.
Oh, that's good, Reverend Doctor. Well, you know what? Thank you so much. Will you come back one day?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us Faith in Mind. So you've heard wonderful information from my guest, Reverend Dr. Jacquie Hood Martin. Ask Angie is a segment designed with you in mind. In my work over many years as a mental health professional who specializes in working with both interfaith and faith-based organizations and neighborhoods and communities, I have encountered many wonderful and interesting people along the way. Also, I have learned many valuable lessons to share with you. Faith in Mind is a lifeline of resources, information, inspiration, and most importantly, hope for lifelong solutions for a mentally healthy America. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on Twitter, everybody, at Angie B. Radical, or Faith in Mind on my Facebook page, or the email address is faithinmind@radicalinc.org. I'd love to hear from you. Faith in Mind television show is a social outreach program of Radical Incorporated, a 501c3 that's ready to talk to promote mental health awareness, a unique and one-of-a-kind television program that will inspire, motivate, and encourage individuals to seek help and link to collateral resources. So for more information on sponsorship or becoming a Love in Action partner, go to www.faithinmind.com or contact us at faithinmind@radicalinc.org or call us at 1-888-979-6463-MIND. We need your financial support. Faith in Mind is a weekly mental health awareness television show platform that's uniquely designed for interfaith organizations and communities. The show's focus highlights the whole person, mind, body, and spirit concept. The show's influential underpinning is guided by love and action principles to promote a mentally fit America. Mental health affects us all, and many suffer in silence, denial, or shame. So please consider becoming a Love in Action partner today and keep faith in mind for lifelong solutions for a mentally healthy America. Life has its ups and downs, but if we learn how to take small steps, our journey will ultimately become larger steps towards a balanced life filled with passion, destiny, and fulfillment. Reverend Jacquie has equipped us with tools to use during those times when life is trying to get the very best of us. Visit Faith in Mind, www.faithinmind.com for more information. I'm glad you joined me today. I'm coming to a community near you with resources, information, strategies, and hope to promote mental health awareness, to inspire your mind, body, and spirit for lifelong solutions for a mentally healthy America. So until next time, keep faith in mind. Remember, it's a movement through action and love.